And here we have it, Central Bath. The place we say we never enter, and we have entered it. Correct?
We've entered it.
We've entered Central Bath.
Okay.
This is a little...
We have, yes. Was that a question, was it?
This is a little row of shops right in the centre of Bath that I find are very Central Bath priced.
Yeah, they're very high prices. Not for charity shops, though this is a high price one. This isn't, but as in the area in general is different.
But it's like lesser stock. It's always lesser stock. Well, you don't know that until we have ventured through them.
But speaking of which, I actually noticed a timepiece, a watch, if you will. I wanted to have a little look at. So the lady very nicely opened the cabinet and got it for me.
Are you going to tell them what it is, or are you just...
I'll put comments up at some point. This is a SOCAIL watch. SOCAILs range from maybe £100, maybe to a few, right up to £500-600, depending on the SOCAIL itself, retail at the moment. They're actually... They do everything from kind of quartz or automatic watches. They do a lot of different style of watches. This was a day date, which means basically it has a wheel which has a date and also a day. Why this was interesting to me was, one, it was an automatic, which is a great sign for a watch across the board, from a brand which is known. But also it was slightly rarer because it had a French day, as in the day was physically in French.
I get you looking at me like I don't understand what you're saying.
Yep.
I understand that the day, it was in French.
Yeah. So it was £15. So I said, can you put it aside? I will probably pick that up on the way out. So we continued looking. This was Pilcrow.
Are we going to say how much it was worth, or are you going to get to that?
We'll get to that.
This is Pilcrow. Pilcrow in the letterpress, famous for, well known for jeans and denim wear. This is a chore jacket. Well, it's actually quite nice.
I kind of like the fade.
Yeah, it's meant to look distressed, if that makes sense.
I mean, there's distress in this. I think this looked like it needed help.
I like Pilcrow in the letterpress, and I also like selling their jeans. The more unusual, the better. I do like selling their jeans. Anthropology brand, great one to look out for and a great one to pick up as great bread and butter.
This is a Ralph Lauren shirt short sleeve. The reason I picked it up was it was linen 100%, and they go for a little bit more than your regular cotton shirt.
Bitcairand. I would describe this as a sort of Largan look brand. This, however, wasn't very Largan look, although it had a very nice neck collar detail. Austin rained all over my parade when he noticed that there was a button missing.
I actually looked for the separate buttons, because sometimes they put buttons on the kind of wash tag to help you out, to kind of put it on. It's not a problem.
No.
But it was a problem. However, I did find the exact same shirt.
Oh, that's
It was
super
up for,
cute.
I think, £55.
Yeah, that's cute. I think that's quite low, but you know how I feel about my comps.
Either way, what I'm saying is, it wasn't a bad purchase if the button was there.
This is nice. This is, right, I'm going to tell you two things. It's a nice dress. It's a very nice silk Kenzo dress. We've got a bit of a ruching detail, floral print, a little bit of piping along there. It's a maxi length. It's very nice.
And for a lot of people who maybe don't know about Kenzo, or if they do know about Kenzo, all they know is the tiger jumper. Kenzo and Kenzo in general was known for a lot of florals, also a lot of kind of, well, they used to have a brand called Kenzo Jungle, which were predominantly prints.
My issue is that Kenzo is predominantly now a streetwear brand,
Yep.
and is very forward in its
approach to fashion.
So the more traditional pieces, when I say traditional pieces, I mean dresses and things like that. The market is very slim. Shall we just say that?
Like people searching Kenzo on eBay or anywhere else right now are looking for, like you said, streetwear pieces.
Austin shook the watch because the lady was concerned it didn't have a battery in it.
Well, no, yeah, you're right. I just remembered that. What she actually said was, I think he did put a battery in it. It doesn't seem to be working. So I shook it, and obviously, as much you'll know, if you shake a automatic watch to kind of jumpstart it, it will start working. This exact watch is for sale right now on eBay for £203. This one was $15, which was, I guess, unless you know what you're looking at, it wasn't cheap for just a basic watch to all accounts. This is probably from the 80s. I would guess late 80s, early 90s. And once again, an automatic piece from a good brand. So there are watches out there to be had and to make some good money on.
And there are brands that you would consider probably lesser that actually do
Yeah,
make
for
good
sure.
watches. They sell those in Argos, let's face it, you know, like they do their like dress watches, you know, like you know that the ladies' chain
Yeah,
watches.
yeah, exactly.
That's what I'm saying. So most people would associate that with a cheaper watch.
100%.
But there's luxury in every market and every
Yeah, and once again, at every level, you know,
Yeah.
like you can relate it to kind of high-end high street.
That's what you know, isn't it? Is the information that you learn along the way.
Yeah, I was on a chat to someone this week on Instagram about watches, and I said, you know, don't always be looking for like a Rolex or, you know, something real high end. You'd be surprised what you can pick up just kind of with a small bit of knowledge.
Yes. In the cabinet, I noticed these as we were walking in. They were half price from 30 to 15, and I noticed they were Tory Birch. What I didn't notice is they were Tory Sport, which is a somewhat of a diffusion brand. It's not. It's like a collection.
Yeah, I give you
Tory
that.
Birch.
Yeah.
I would have picked these up if they were full line. I would have probably paid £30 if they were full line. However, they were a very small size and they were Tory Sport, so I decided, against my better judgment, to leave them.
With a lot of shoes, if they're like real bangers, we'll get them anyway. But if it's something like that where you're kind of a bit kind of shall we, shan't we, the fact it's a small size then can kind of just tip you over the edge. So you think, nah, I'll leave it, you know?
Funny enough, I like to pick up heels in a small size because of the Asian market.
Yeah, I understand that. That's fair. For anyone who doesn't know what Bethany means, predominantly a lot of high-heeled shoes. My whole career in Jimmy Choo, my customers were smaller-footed ladies.
Yes. And there's a huge market for small feet.
Yep.
As there is for large feet.
This is a vintage,
the best ever.
This is a vintage single-stitch tuxedo-style T-shirt.
So cool.
These were really big in the early, mid-80s to early 90s. This is a vintage one, single-stitch. And these can go for anything from like £25 right up to like 100. There's some comps there. The other T-shirt I grabbed in my hand was a new label COS T-shirt plain. It just hadn't been washed, which sounds disgusting, but it was physically just had dust and dirt on it. It just needs a wash, and it's a brand new label, so it's only been out probably a year, if that.
Good basics are really great to pick up, especially from good high street brands like COS, whose basics are quite expensive. They're if someone's really into COS basics, like for example, I love COS socks.
Yeah.
People will pay like £20 for a nice, you know, basic T-shirt, especially if it's new label because it's new. We found the bangers in the CD section. Yeah,
I left this in because you know what? Why not?
Fame Academy. Who remembers Fame Academy? I had to explain what
Kitten.
Fame Academy was to Austin.
Yeah, like I have no idea.
Atomic Kitten.
But like, hang on a minute.
That one that
you ready for an icon? Yeah.
Will Young. Austin
Deal with
loves
it.
Will Young.
Literally kills it. Kills the game. Well, the thing, both of us really, our musical kind of tastes are madness.
I'm a big country fan, and a lot of people, I don't know if people were surprised by that, but I'm a big country fan. But I was raised on 1970s glam rock, so my taste in music varies quite largely.
Yeah, fair play. You showed me a what are they called? It's a Zara boucle, tweed. No, it's not boucle at all. It's tweed style, like Chanel style, if you will.
And
Zara jacket.
If anyone follows Dressing Room Darling on Instagram, then you'll know that she's
kills the scene with these.
And I never know when to pick them up. I know it was £4.50, and I never know. I never like. Shall I? I'm always like, oh, shall I not? But it is a jacket that Zara constantly produces in terms of colourway and things like that. Very
style,
classic.
Yeah, it is.
Chanel-esque. It is
I will say, they're always really quality as well from Zara.
Yes.
Like those jackets. Because, I don't know, from high end to like low end, there's not a huge amount of difference in quality because they have to be made a certain way to start with.
In the window here, we have some Miu Miu Star Mary Janes. They had them up for £400 without box used.
Their price, the charity shop, will charge them £400.
Yeah, roughly off the top of my head, I did look them up, but retail on these was about $900, so about £700 to £800. However, they did go in the end of season sale in most department stores, so they went down to $400, which was about £300. So they were charging used more than retail.
Yeah, fair enough.
Which is their prerogative, but I don't think they're going to sell, if I'm honest with you. They'll probably get reduced.
There are also these Christian Dior sunglasses from, I would say, mid-2000s, like 2000, maybe 2009 onwards. These were really cool. They were men's. You can tell that not just by the style, but the fact on the actual the stamping itself, it had Dior Homme.
Yeah, these are actually very cool, and they're very transitional into sort of modern collections, if that makes sense.
Some really nice details as well.
I would say with Dior, from my personal knowledge,
Yeah.
is that the last few years they've gone down a very chic route.
Yes,
In terms
very different
of
to that kind of pop style.
They're going very heritage, very subtle glamour.
Yeah, I give you that.
Touch of
Quite quaint actually in some ways.
Yeah, I don't know how to describe it. It's sort of very it's very a French atelier.
Yeah, exactly that. And that what you just saw was very kind of like I
Like
don't
a
know.
modern Pura Hermes.
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
Okay.
I do know.
Less trend driven.
Yes.
More style driven.
Which once again, those glasses were from the era. It was totally trend,
Yes.
cutting edge. You know, that kind of thing. By the way, I just picked up, if you saw, it's a power bank. Me and Bethany always got moaning about, oh, we should grab a power bank, we should borrow a power bank. That was a Hammer or Hannah. By all means, correct me in the comments. A 20,000, whatever they are. Anyway, it was £8 and they're worth about 30 quid.
If anyone has any recommendations on like massive power banks, like I'm talking big boys, I run 2 phones. Austin runs a phone, and
my
then
GoPro,
iPad, and computer. And people often ask us how we run so many multiple accounts. Is because we have so many. We have so many devices.
Yeah, I thought you were going to see people asking how do we charge them. I was going to say, no, I don't bloody know.
And they always run out of battery.
That was also an Ariat cap. Ariat's a really good brand to pick up at the moment. Everything we buy from Ariat seems to sell quickly. The hat was £6 though, so I'm not going to lie to you. I left it.
Max Mara, this is right. I've got a big thing about Max Mara, and I'm all for paying up for Max Mara £25. I'm a big you need to buy that Max Mara and you need to sell it. That was the most dated thing I've ever seen in my whole life.
I couldn't agree more.
And I do draw the line at things that really
are obviously not of now.
It's not even of now, because things can be classic and not
that
on
wasn't
trend,
that was it.
But that sometimes things are just just bad.
Bad stuff. The other thing I wanted to mention as we walk the streets of Bath was this little snippet just before we leave here. We picked up a Mont Blanc notepad in the charity shop in, I think, yesterday's video for £3, I want to say. And they were in a window of the Mallory, which is a very famous watch and jewellery shop in Bath. They also, as you can see, do kind of leather goods and so on. So these notepads, I think, were between 60 and 75.
I'd just like to take a moment before we go. The pens were £1,000.
Yeah, some of the pens start from like 300, 250, 300, but they go up to right over to 2,000 or 3,000. But yeah, one of the prices there was 1,500 for a pen. And I say for a pen, that's like saying like you're charging 20 grand for a watch. It's all relative, I guess. But the same token, they are expensive instruments. So I'm just letting you know, if you see the notepads, buy them.
And search the pen pots.
Always search the pen
that's
pots.
one of the things, though, that I think really random stuff like that. That's what you got to think about.
And who's looking at pens?
Yes.
Who's looking at pens?
Yes.
You know?
Anyway,
I am now. No, bye.